Guys, what's up? My name is Justin Marc, and in this video, I'm gonna talk to you about how I actually reversed my hair loss. So guys, believe it or not, I'm actually currently balding right now. A few months ago, I went through some of the most intensive emotional stress I've ever been through. From having an international media scandal, having my business fall apart, having really horrible problems within my own family dynamic with a close family member of mine being sick in the hospital, thought she was gonna die. And it was a really horrible time for me. And I was really stressed out. And I remember going for a shower and touching my hair and looking down, there was hair all over my hands. Now I thought maybe it's just because I have long hair, maybe it's just because, you know, my hair is naturally shedding. But then I noticed my hairline was receding, I noticed that my hair was thinning, and I was actually really worried, stressed out. And for the first time in my life, I actually felt very anxious. Now, I'm wrong. It wasn't my first time in my life I felt that, but it felt like it was my first time in my life I felt that way because I haven't felt social self-conscious or insecure with myself pretty much at all for the last 8 years because I went through this amazing journey of self-development. But the thought that I was gonna lose my hair, go bald, and look like a creepy old man really concerned me. So guys, in this video, I'm gonna talk to you about how you can actually reverse your hair loss and avoid losing more hair. As a man, it's pretty complicated because your hormones are changing. And typically when guys reach their 20s or 30s, they're gonna start some level of shedding. I think it's like 60, 70% of guys do lose hair. And my entire life, I knew I was gonna go bald. My entire life, I knew this is inevitable because my father was bald, my grandpa on my mother's side was bald, and all my male cousins in my family are bald, which means statistically speaking, pretty good chance I'm gonna go bald, right? And I just hit 25 years old and I realized, okay, if I don't get a handle on this now, I'm gonna be bald probably in the next couple years. So there's a few things I did that we're gonna talk about in this video that have allowed me to actually keep my hair but start regrowing my hair. And if anything, my hair looks healthier and thicker than ever before. So long story short, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not some medical practitioner. This video is just made for your entertainment and educational purposes only. So everything I say in this video, take with a degree of caution. I'm not liable for anything you do or any decisions you make, but I'll tell you what I've done and what a lot of my friends have done to actually reverse their hair loss. Now, the first thing you can actually do is take a prescription drug called Finasteride, also known as Propecia. You can actually go to your doctor, get a prescription for this, and it's a pretty interesting thing because it can come with some symptoms, but for the most part, there's no symptoms. If you take too much, what I find is I had a little bit of brain fog. I was taking 1 milligram of this per day, and all of a sudden my hormones are out of whack. I started like nutting myself in my sleep. It was really fucking strange. It was really weird. And so I kind of lowered the dose to anywhere from 0.3 of a milligram to 0.5 of a milligram each day. So I take very, very small doses of this stuff. But over time, it essentially stops testosterone from turning into DHT, which causes you to start shedding. So that's one thing I've done to actually start ensuring I won't be bald in the long term. Oftentimes it takes about 6 months to see any results, and after about 5 months of taking Finasteride, I've actually noticed that my balding, my shedding has pretty much stopped. Now, another thing I've actually started doing is taking Biotin, okay? Let's zoom in there real quick. Biotin is a really awesome, pretty sure it's natural, thing that allows you to grow hair, skin, and nails healthier. And I've actually noticed a huge increase in my quality of hair. Like, I just noticed my hair is a lot more luscious and thick. What's even crazier is the parts of my scalp that were balding have actually like stopped balding completely. And again, this is mostly just from Finasteride and Biotin. Now, after a shower, you can still see a little bit of thinning. And I noticed around my temple areas, I was actually pretty much like, my hairline was massively receding. So one thing I actually did is I got this awesome brush. It's from a company called Hair Max, okay? And this is what it does. It shoots lasers into my hair and it times it. So essentially what I do is I use this for maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day, and I just go over the areas of my hair that are receding, balding. And what it allows me to do essentially is apparently these lasers, they stimulate hair follicles, and I don't know the science behind it, but apparently it helps, again, stimulate new hair growth. And so that's been pretty great. Now there's so many other ways you can actually reverse hair loss, but I just noticed that just from Finasteride, okay, and just from using this laser brush, which I already used today, and taking Biotin 1,000 or 10,000 mcg per day, I've essentially already reversed my hair loss. Now, obviously this advice is very subjective to you, your body, where you're at on your hair loss journey, I guess. And so you want to ensure that, you know, there's different levels to it. You kind of want to go slow and steady. Now there's an awesome subreddit on Reddit about hair loss called Trestless. I'll actually link it in the description as well. And you can actually dig through it. There's tons of awesome advice on hair loss and kind of like solving that issue. Because to be honest, when it comes to social media or dating or a lot of things, just having a full head of hair, it's such a weird cognitive bias where, look, if you're bald, is it really gonna affect your life that much if you have a great, awesome personality? Probably not. But who knows? You never know if girls are gonna look at you differently. You never know if people kind of perceive you differently. And to be honest, I just like my hair. I think hair is a very important quality I look for when dating. And so I would hope the same. Like, I really like my hair. I've always had nice hair, and I really much so want to keep my hair. And so I decided to use Finasteride, Biotin, and this hairbrush. And there's a couple other things you can actually do. So there's a shampoo called Nizoral. I've used it a couple times. You have to stay consistent in order to see any benefit from that. Again, do your own research, talk to a doctor, talk to your doctor about this. But Nizoral is a really interesting thing as well because it essentially blocks DHT from entering your scalp. It's just a shampoo you use once a day. And I actually have some coming in the mail tomorrow. I'll be using it very sparingly as well because you got to be careful with this stuff, right? You're obviously putting stuff in your body that alters your hormones and your body chemistry and things like that. So you want to be very slow and steady. And for the same reason, that's why I'm only taking, a third of a pill of Finasteride every day, because I don't want to just like overwhelm my body with all this weird, chemicals and substances, right? Biotin's pretty great because it's natural, right? And so you want to just be very careful. I found even things like meditation kind of keep my stress levels down, and I'm going to assume it probably helps a little bit. Now, there's one other thing you could do. It's called minoxidil, or also known as Rogaine. You actually can get a generic version of this at Costco. I think you can get like a 6-month supply at Costco for like $100. Pretty cheap, and it's essentially like a hair growth formula. You essentially just squirt it into the areas that are balding. So, I mean, if you look really closely here, you can probably see it over here. Like it's kind of hard to even say or see it, but essentially minoxidil, which is the generic version of Rogaine, you essentially can use that to stimulate new hair growth in these areas you are balding. So if you mix that in with Finasteride stops you from balding. Nizoral, the shampoo, stops you from balding. It's a topical, substance that stops DHT from entering your scalp. So again, that stops you from balding. And then Rogaine essentially helps you regrow that hair. And so it's pretty great. If you follow those 3 things, you'll actually be able to completely reverse your hair loss in a very easy way. Now, let's say it's really bad. You might even want to consider a hair transplant. You can actually fly to countries like Turkey or India and you get a hair transplant for like $1,000, okay? I got a rhinoplasty and a genioplasty in Mexico City for literally, I think it was like 1.5K US, maybe it was like 1.7 or something, right? And again, it was super fucking cheap to the point where I was like, I didn't even care about surgery. I was never even into it. I never even considered getting surgery before, but when I found out how cheap it was, I just DM'd a surgeon and kind of just was like, yeah, let's do it, fuck it, right? So in the same way, you can actually get really cheap hair transplant on your next vacation. If you are ever in Mexico, or if you ever fly to Turkey, India, or any of these like countries that offer cheap surgery, you can probably find a really good surgeon who could do it for a pretty affordable price. So if you do want to reverse your hair loss like that as well, typically what they'll do is they'll take hairs from the back of your head or other parts of your body, and they'll actually just copy the scalp or like little parts of it. They'll kind of just rip it off and replace the skin. It's actually really interesting how they do it. I'm not entirely sure how they do it. There's so many different ways you can do this, right? So you gotta figure out what's best for you and what's not a good idea for you. Typically, what you should do is you should start with Finasteride and eventually move on to Regrow and Nizoral. Those are great. And Biotin is awesome because it just helps, you know, stimulate hair growth, grow hair faster, grow hair thicker. Because the best part is, like, right now you can't really even tell I'm balding at all. You can't really tell I have any bald spots. Well, usually when I get a shower, my hair's wet. It's a little bit obvious that I'm balding. And it's actually really funny because it's just following this advice in this video. I've already started to reverse it, and I know for a fact I'm gonna be well into my 30s with a full, beautiful head of hair just with the advice in this video. So that was just a quick little piece of content for you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope it's relevant to you, and I hope it helps you in any way, shape, or form. My name is Justin Marc. I really appreciate you guys following my content. So if you did like this video, if you found any value in it, make sure to leave a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. That'll be awesome. And if you guys have any questions or any concerns or anything, you can actually go ahead and follow me on all my social media, linked at the bottom of this screen or linked in the description, okay? My new Instagram, DrunkJustin2. You can add me on Snapchat, SexyJustin, or message me on Telegram at JustinMarc. You can also subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification so you're notified of new videos. And we'll see you guys very soon in a new video. Talk to you soon. My name is Justin Marc. Peace out.